Hey everybody. I've got a lot going on here in the fish room today, so I don't know whether this is going to be a before and after or around the world or whatever. I'm just going to kind of start with this part and we're going to see where this one ends up. What I'm doing primarily today is rearranging a bunch of lighting. A lot of you know I just put a shop light over top of my gourami tank here and removed the LEDs that I had on it for reasons I'm not going to go into now. But I'm not satisfied with this light. It's a little too much for these fish. My gouramis don't like a ton of really bright light, and while they may look normal to you, I can tell that my opaline right there is a little darker than she normally is, and she's a little darker than she should be. It's unfortunate with gouramis that when they're stressed out they actually darken up. A lot of people see the darkened color and they think it just looks gorgeous, which it does, but unfortunately it's a sign of stress. And she's only a scooch bit darker than she used to be, so I'm not too concerned necessarily. But if I can do something about it, I can do something about it, so I'm going to. So what am I going to do? I'm going to replace that shop lamp with a different shop lamp. And the reason I'm doing that is because of the way the tubes are spread apart in this lamp. I believe are a little wider than the normal sort of side-by-side configuration. I think there's a couple of inches in between the tubes. Causes the whole thing to be a little wider. It gives a more even spread of light in the tank, which I like, but I think it makes it a little too bright in there. So we're going to put a more of a traditional shop light on there. I bought today at my big Mart store for $10 and some change. I did have to buy additional tubes. They did not come with it, but the fixture itself was only about 12 bucks. With tax and everything. So that's going to go on this tank. That fixture is actually going to come over here. Let me turn the overhead light on for this one. That fixture is going to come over here onto my 125. And be careful not to trip over my cat Bootsy there. This tank has a pile of various lights on top of it, and we're going to do something about that. What we're going to do is we're going to take all of this pile of lights off the top and we're going to put that shop lamp over here. The shop lamp is only 4 feet long and the tank is 6 feet long, so that's going to leave me a foot on either end. And what I'm going to do with that is use this fixture, which is just an 18-inch T8 tube, standard little fixture that comes over your normal 20-gallon tank. I have two of those, one here and one here. Those are going to go on the end kind of at an angle. They'll sort of fill in the shady parts in the corner where the shop light doesn't cover it. The shop light will go right down the middle, and then that will free up these fixtures, which are a little better fixtures. These are T5 high output fixtures. Each one has 2 tubes in it. One tube is 6700K and one is one of those odd sort of pink Color Max tubes. We'll talk about those more later in a video about lighting. So I will have 3 of these fixtures available. What's going to happen to them? 2 of them are going to come over here. There you go, everybody. There's your first kind of look at progress on the 40. Those plants are not necessarily staying where they are. They're just kind of placeholders right now just to give it a little bit of look and texture for me to, get the creative juices flowing a little bit. But in the meantime, I am going to put 2 of those fixtures on this tank, so it will be very brightly lit and it will be very beautiful, and you will love it once I get the fish in there, because all that bright light and beautiful color rendering is going to make them look astonishing. So that fixture is a 3-foot fixture with a 2-foot tube in it. It is a piece of junk. It is like about enough light to give a night light. I mean, you can see how much light it's putting in this little 40 breeder. Well, believe it or not, 2 of those are what came on this 125, and that was the sole extent of the lighting. So at some point, if this video does become a sort of before and after or a work in progress, I would love to do, and I may even do it as a separate video altogether, just a before and after. I'm actually going to take these little 3-foot tubes. There's one. I keep saying these because there is the other. That is going to get replaced as well with the 3rd and final of my fixtures, just like this one here. So I'll be back to having 2 of those fixtures over my T-bar tank, which will make it look nice and beautiful again. Speaking of my T-bar, there he is. Now, he's probably not going to stay in this tank too much longer. I'm getting really tired of watching him pick on my black ghost. You can't even tell I have a black ghost in there. He hides in that cave structure over there. And you can see right now that T-bar, he just looks for him, he hunts for him, and I don't know why, but he hates that black ghost and just constantly harasses him. So he's going to be coming out of that tank and probably going into this tank. That's something else, different video. That's not happening today or part of what we're doing today. So I'm going to go back to having 2 of those twin tube T5 high output fixtures on this tank, which is going to make it look gorgeous. And I will then have that other piece of junk 3-foot fixture with the 2-foot tube in it. I think it's like a 27 watt tube or something like that. It might even be like a 17 watt tube. I have no idea, but it's really, really inadequate, even for a 40, let alone the 125. So we'll get at least a little bit of that so we can all have a good laugh at what they expected me to put on top of my 125 and call that an adequately lit tank. So that is what we've got going on today. That are my plans, and we will see where we go with this video and see whether we do any before and after. If not, I will just wrap this up and call it say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you real soon on the next one. If not, I'll see you here in a couple minutes. Alright everybody, here's what it looks like with the stock lighting that came with this tank as part of the ensemble. Alright everybody, that's what it looks like now. So I definitely like it. That is with the shop lamp, and then I have the 2 2-foot fixtures on top. So let me get the overhead light back on and we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. Show you what I did today. Got some black material from the big Mart store today so I could just cover the top up so you can't really see what's going on under there. But I basically just have the shop lamp down the middle, and then I have a 2-foot section here and another 2-foot section there, and that is the extent of the light I have on the whole tank. So I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. That is how brightly lit my 40 is going to be, because I now have both of the T5 fixtures on here. I have 2 of those. I also covered this with black material. And my T-bar tank over here is back to the way it used to look when it was my African tank back in the day. I've got 2 of those T5 fixtures on there as well. And I also covered this tank with some black material. Unfortunately, I bought all of the material they had today. They only had 4.5 yards. I wanted a little more than that because I also want to get this tank covered. Nothing urgent, but I would like to cover it. And then, of course, I've got my Gourami tank that still has the original purple cloth over top of it, which is, you know, adequate. It gets the job done, but it's not entirely to my satisfaction. That is my 29 miscellaneous, still ticking over like a clock. Nothing going on in there, as usual. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let me go ahead and turn this overhead light off one last time, and we will end the video with one final look at my 125 there. That's what it's going to look like from now on, at least for a little while, because you never know, things change fast around here. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and you won't miss any of these updates. I do a lot of them. So thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you real soon on the next one.